2026 SEC QB rankings were 1 to 14, or I should say 14 to 1. And you might be asking, why? Isn't there 16 teams in the SEC? Why are you only doing 14? Well, that's because Tennessee and Alabama still have ongoing quarterback battles, so I'm not going to include them. But I will tell you at the end, so once we get through all 14, I will tell you where I would kind of slot them depending on who wins the job. So we're going to do that last. So if you're a Tennessee or Alabama fan, you came to see where your team is, your quarterback, that'll be at the end of the video. Don't skip to the end because you got to see who's 1 through 14, see where you're going to stack up. All right, starting at number 14. Starting at number 14 is Mississippi State's Kamario Taylor. Reason I have him at number 14 is he's tremendous athletic ability. Like, you don't take anything away from his ability and his athleticism on the field. The only thing I take away is maybe, he's in a tough situation. Like, Mississippi State's a tough team to, be slotted in as, or slotted in on. I'm trying to figure out how to word that. It's a tough team to be on and have a successful career as a quarterback. They don't have a ton of weapons. Like, we've seen Dak Prescott do it before, but they don't have a ton of weapons this year. And I don't think Kamario Taylor has quite the experience. So I'm going to give Kamario Taylor at number 14. Number 13 is KJ Jackson, quarterback at Arkansas. He's a talented runner. I'm not taking that away from him, but we're coming from Taylon Green last year to now KJ Jackson. So there's going to be a bit of a drop-off. Like, we expect a drop-off, but when I look at KJ Jackson, I see high value here. He's a young quarterback. He's still developing, so that's why I have him lower. But, man, you could look at the end of the year and see him easily as like a top 8 quarterback, top 7 quarterback in this conference because he developed. And if we can get quick development, going into next year, he's going to be a lot higher on this list. So he's a stock watch for me for sure. If Arkansas can, build enough around him, I think he's just going to keep rising in this list. Go ahead and go to number 12. It is Jared Curtis, quarterback from Vanderbilt. Jared Curtis is a guy that I absolutely love. I absolutely love this guy. Like, he's a phenomenal quarterback. He is a former 5-star. He was an elite recruit with a ton of upside. But here's the thing. He's a freshman. He's a true freshman taking over for basically the best player in Vanderbilt history. Like, Diego Pavia was the best player Vanderbilt's ever had, and he's leaving. So Jared Curtis has to come in, fill that spot as a true freshman. So it's going to be tough. There's going to be a lot of pressure on him. I think he can harness that pressure and really embrace it and do well. I just don't know if he's going to be exactly the best quarterback this year. So as for 2026, is he going to be the best quarterback in 2026? No. Is he going to be the best quarterback in the SEC in future years to come? Absolutely has that potential. But this is 2026 we're talking about. So I have Jared Curtis at number 12. Number 11 is Kenny Minchey, quarterback from Kentucky. Kenny Minchey is at number 11 because here's my thing with Kenny Minchey. He's coming in from Notre Dame, okay? He's coming in from Notre Dame. He's really young, okay? Is he going to develop fast enough? That's my question. What does his development look like? So when you look at him, he's a solid athlete with some experience, but we need more development. Like, he has some experience, but we need more development. He works well within this structure, especially in the offensive system of Will Stein, the former OC from Oregon, came over. I think Will Stein will unlock a lot of more explosiveness in him. So I think Kenny Minchey is going to be a great quarterback. But as of preseason rankings, I'm not going to slot him quite into the top 10. So I'm going to leave him at number 11, Kenny Minchey. And now we head into the top 10 with number 10 being Aaron Philo, quarterback from Florida. Aaron Philo is a guy that's got a lot of potential, a lot of untapped potential, unseen potential. He's a formerly highly regarded recruit to Georgia Tech, transferred to Florida. He has his offensive coordinator that came with him. Buster Faulkner is at Florida from Georgia Tech, so he has a little bit of familiarity. He's an accurate passer. He's got a lot of long-term upside. This guy looks like a phenomenal player, and I cannot wait to see what he does in this offense. The question is he quite ready for the SEC? It's a big jump going from the ACC to the SEC. So my question is, how well does he adjust? How quickly does he adjust? And man, if he adjusts quickly Aaron Philo is going to be the answer for Florida this year. He's going to help them to have a great season in John Summerall's year 1. All right, number 9 is Austin Simmons, quarterback from Missouri. This is another guy that just kind of needs to hit his potential. Like, he has the potential, but they need to tap into it. They need to get the development going. This was going to be Lane Kiffin's guy. Turned out Trinidad Chambliss was the guy. But, man, he's a talented young passer. He's got a strong arm. He's got a lot of upside, very intriguing upside as well, let me add. And he can handle being the full-time guy. That's the thing. We've seen it at Ole Miss, and I think we're going to see it at Missouri. So if he can handle it, he's going to be ready. He's going to be a top quarterback. So that's why I have him at number 9. Missouri's ceiling depends heavily on Simmons' development and how well he does this year. So that is Austin Simmons at number 9. Coming in at number 8 is none other than Auburn's Byram Brown. Transfer from USF. This guy looks really good. I was super high on this guy at USF. Like, man, this guy was one of the guys that I was like, keep an eye out for him. Because he could potentially be a sleeper, kind of like Ashton Genty was. He could potentially be a sleeper in New York at the end of the year. And he had the stats for it. He had over 4,000 total yards, 3,100 passing yards. He had, I think, over 30, maybe 40 total touchdowns. Didn't have that many turnovers. It's just, when you look at the level of competition, he didn't have that many of big games. They played Florida, they played Miami, they stomped Florida, or they beat Florida and got stomped by Miami. They beat Boise State, but they didn't have as many, proven games to really trust those stats. But, man, he's going to be really good at Auburn, I have no doubt. He's familiar with Alex Golish's offense. That was the former head coach at USF, taking his quarterback there. Gives Auburn fans gives Auburn immediate stability. That's one of the things I like about, Byram Brown at Auburn, is it gives them immediate stability, and they're going to have a solid season. Like, Byram Brown's the guy that's he's not going to lose more than 7-8 games, I think, at Auburn. I think they're going to have a solid 7-5, high-end 8-4 year. My prediction would be 7-5 for Auburn in year 1, which is pretty good, and I think all things considered, Byram Brown did his job. So that's Byram Brown at number 8. Going in at number 7 is Sam Leavitt. He's the former Arizona State transfer to LSU. This guy is a guy that I have had my eye on at Arizona State. I have my eye on him now at LSU. He's a transfer addition, like I said. He's very athletic. He's capable of extending plays. This guy's a playmaker. Like, he can get outside the pocket. He can run and just extend plays and make plays. And I love watching this guy play, similar to Trinidad Chambliss. I'm excited about him. Leavitt has a chance to outperform his ranking. I wrote that down as a note. He has a chance to really go from 7 to like a top 5. And there's no doubt about that. He steps into a high-pressure environment. That's maybe the only thing that I would maybe hold him back, is the pressure that's going to be on him and the difference of playing in the Big 12 versus the SEC. Whole nother dog to play, and a whole other challenge of a conference. Number 6 is Lenore Sellers. And again, I wanted to say for you guys, if there's anyone commenting in the live chat, I'm going to get to you guys here in a second after this list. I'll read your guys' thoughts on the show and react to them. Number 6 is Lenore Sellers. He's one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks in college football. There is no doubt. Like, this guy is so physically gifted. He's huge. He reminds me of Josh Allen. This guy just extends plays. He's a phenomenal player. When you look at top quarterbacks in the SEC, this guy comes to mind. The reason I have him at 6 is because we haven't seen it yet. We've seen the potential, but we haven't seen it paid off. We saw it 2 years ago when they went 9-3. We didn't see it last year. They went 4-8. But if they can improve on that this year, Lenore Sellers is going to be a guy that will contend for a spot in New York at the end of the year. So this guy's got the most potential, but he's also very unproven with that potential, especially last year. But if he could take another step forward, a leap forward, South Carolina's going to be a good team, especially with Dylan Stewart and Nick Harbor. All right, number 5. This is top 5 time. Cannot wait for this right here. All right, top 5. Here we go. Number 5, sitting at number 5 is Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton's a guy that I really like. I'm high on Gunnar Stockton, but I'm not high enough to where I want to put him quite top 3. So the reason I have him at 5 is he's surrounded by elite talent. I know that. He lost Zachariah Branch, but he's surrounded by talent. He's got strong arm. He's got a strong arm. He's got plenty of experience. He's got all these traits. He can run the ball. He could throw the ball. He could do it all. But I don't think that he's got quite the weapons. Like, I don't think he's got quite the. I don't think he's going to be able to quite outperform pound for pound these top 4 quarterbacks is what I'm trying to say. Not saying he can't, but I don't have him right there now. If he, proves me wrong, which I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping he proves me wrong, but I just can't rely on, an unproven or an unseen faith. Like, I just can't put my faith in Gunnar Stockton yet. I'd love to buy stock in Gunnar Stockton, but not yet. I'm holding off a little bit on Gunnar Stockton. He's going in his second year as the starting quarterback at Georgia. So he's got a lot of potential, but I can't give him a top 4 spot quite yet. All right, number 4 is Marcel Reed. He's my number 4 guy because he's just a dynamic athlete. He's dangerous with his legs. He's, continued to develop as a passer. He keeps getting better each and every year that he starts. And this year, I think, is the year that he's really going to start to take off and lead Texas A&M, hopefully, back to the playoff, in my opinion. So Texas A&M and Marcel Reed are at number 4. Number 3, you guys can probably guess who the top 3 is. Number 3 is Arch Manning. This might shock a lot of people and make a lot of people mad. You might be thinking, Arch Manning at 3? Why do you guys probably have Arch Manning at 1 or 2 spot? Not much lower than that. I have him at 3 because you look at last season and you look at what Texas did last season, and specifically Arch Manning, and Arch Manning didn't blow me away last year. Like, the 2 guys ahead of him played a lot better than Arch Manning, and you can't look at me and say, oh well, Arch Manning, he's gonna be really good this year. Like, there's no doubt. Well, I can't just blindly just put my faith in Arch Manning because I haven't seen it. The guys ahead of him, I've seen it. For some guys, multiple years. Like, the number 2 guy on this list, I've seen it for 2 years. I've seen him have that potential, and I've seen him perform. Arch Manning, I haven't seen what I want to see out of him to warrant a top 1 or 2 quarterback in the SEC. That's what I'm trying to say. He's top 3, but he's not quite top 2. He's not quite the number 1 quarterback in the SEC for me. The number 1 quarterback in the SEC for me, we'll see. The number 2 quarterback in the SEC for me, it currently is John Mateer. John Mateer is one of the better quarterbacks in college football. He's very, very experienced. He's tough. He's an excellent runner. He's got enough arm talent, trust me, to stress defenses, and that's for sure. Like, guys are going to have to drop back. The guys are going to have to come up. Like, you never know. He could throw a deep ball past your head that's just on the money to Isaiah Sategna, and he's gone. Or he could hit him on a slant. Beautiful pass, and he's gone for 15 yards. You never know what's coming. Or he could run out the outside and run for 20 yards, run for 10 yards, get a first down, get a couple yards. He's a tough quarterback. He could run, he could pass, he could do it all. That's why I have him at number 2. Number 1 in my SEC quarterback rankings is Trinidad Chambliss. This guy, you might be saying that I'm a little high on him, having him as, this high in my rankings, in my player ratings or player rankings in college football, in my SEC quarterback rankings. You might be saying, whoa, you got to slow down on this guy. And that's valid. I'm really high on Trinidad Chambliss. I'm really high on John Mateer. So Trinidad Chambliss at number 1 is, first off, he's a veteran dual threat quarterback. What pairs better than a guy that has experience and is a dual threat who can do it all? That's like the best pairing in college football. He fits in this offense. We saw it last year. I think he's going to fit in this new offense this year. He's a proven playmaker. Like I said, he made insane plays last year, particularly late in games and particularly in big games. Like, I'm talking playoff, semifinal, quarterfinal. He made big plays against Georgia. This guy is a dog, and I cannot wait to see him in 2026. He's going to be one of my candidates for the Heisman Trophy this upcoming year. I could not be any higher on Trinidad Chambliss. So that is my 1 through 14 SEC quarterback rankings. I wanted to talk about Alabama and Tennessee real quick. So Alabama, they got a quarterback battle going on. So I couldn't slot them in this list. But I look at Alabama, and let's say it's Keon Russell or Austin Mack. I would probably slide them somewhere in the, let's see, I'd probably slide them somewhere between the 8, probably between like the 7 to 12 spot is where I would slide the Tennessee and Alabama quarterback battles, and whoever comes out on top of those. I'd slide them between about the 7 and 12 spot. So that's my full 14 to 1, or I guess you could say 16 to 1 SEC QB rankings. Comment below if you agree, disagree, subscribe if you agree, even subscribe if you disagree. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. And that is my 1 through 14 SEC QB rankings. We'll do the Big 10 in the next show.